What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first edition of the Open Table Sports Daily Recap. We are live on YouTube right now. We'd like to thank the University of Bridgeport, Boost Oxygen, Fightful.com, and Seat Giant. At Seat Giant, go use that code Matt, all caps, and get some money off of that ticket. So right now we have Dom, Kevin, and Kyle joining us today. What's going on, guys?
Hey, let's go, Matt.
How's it going?
What's going on, Matt?
So today, obviously, we're talking all sports. We're one of the only sports podcasts that does. Try to name another sports podcast that will go after, all your sports necessities. So let's get right into it. With Denny Hamlin winning the Daytona 500, we're going to pass this over to Dom right now. We know his race car was just moved into the museum. So, Dom, what's going on with the Daytona 500? How was it?
So it was a wild race for sure. Definitely not expected by everyone else. Everyone expected this single file boring race that people could sleep through and not miss a thing. And it was the exact opposite. So it was really cool. I know Kevin watched too. What do you think, Kevin?
I thought it was a good race. I was very intrigued for the whole race. Like how you said, it was a lot of action-packed racing, and it wasn't single file like how a lot of people expected, and I think it really helped the sport of NASCAR a lot.
And I know people, general people that were watching, that aren't really NASCAR fans, I'm sure they liked the crashes, toward the end, all those big wrecks.
Towards the end, yeah.
Had a 21 car wreck,
Yeah. It was wild, especially near the end of the race. Everybody saw that finish line approaching, and everyone went after it. It was fun. It was fun to watch. It took a while, but it was very fun to watch. I was very intrigued.
Yeah, I think the last 10 laps.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
I watched most of the race. I'm glad Hamlin won. Anybody but Logano, in my opinion.
Amen.
But Amen. Crash was pretty cool. That's to expect at the speedway tracks. So,
and then Denny Hamlin getting the win, Kyle Busch getting second, and Eric Jones getting third. 1, 2, 3 for Joe Gibbs Racing to honor the late J.D. Gibbs, who passed away last month. It was so special for Coach Joe Gibbs, the owner. His whole legacy is just amazing, and he considered that the biggest win of his life. And he's won 3 Super Bowls, 3 Daytona 500s, and 3 championships. So to consider that his biggest victory of his life, it says something about the impact of how much his son meant to him.
It was
definitely a good race. It was, as Dom said earlier before we started the podcast, it was the most watched thing this weekend. As we said, yesterday there was a lot going on in the sports world yesterday. Basketball, hockey, bowling, NASCAR. There was wrestling, Elimination Chamber, as you could see, Monday Night Raw in the background. So, it was a crazy day. Next, we're going to get into some NFL. The Cowboys declined wide receiver Terrence Williams' option for 2019. He will become a free agent. We have no Cowboys fans on this podcast right now. So, no one really cares. But he is a speedy wide receiver on the edge. Who do you guys –
not that great.
He's not that good. I didn't want to say it, but, I said it last Friday. I call people out on the Friday podcast. Dom knows that. Mm-hmm. How many times do I call out players, Dom?
Oh, a lot. If you're not stepping up and
if you're not stepping
you're
up,
getting called out.
You're getting called out. Simple. So, what team he goes to, I can really give 2 shits on where he goes. Yeah. So, next, the Patriots defensive end Trey Flowers will not get franchise tag. What do you think about this, Kyle?
It's just business. They do this every year. They let the free agents test the market, and if they don't see what they like, they come back to Mr. Kraft and get that family discount.
Yeah, get that. Bring it in. They're like the Warriors of football, giving people discounts.
Yeah.
They did that a few years ago with Hightower. Hightower was about to go to the Steelers, came back, took a little bit of less money, and is now still on the team.
What is Kevin sipping on over there?
I got the grape soda. You already know, man. Dom knows.
Yeah.
Dom knows about the grape soda.
It's a staple.
Yeah, it really is a staple.
Yeah,
So
everyone go out there and get your grape soda while you're watching OTS Daily Recap. Shout out to grape soda.
we got Fanta or Crush?
Crush, you already know, man.
It's just grape
Crush.
soda in general. Grape soda.
Just
If you think of grape soda, go and get it. All right. So next, the Giants safety Landon Collins is expected to get franchise tagged. Obviously, this isn't really a shocker.
Yeah.
Defensive staple for the past couple years. Dom, what do you think about this being a Giants fan?
I think it's a smart decision. He had the one thing he lacks is kind of being on the field. He's gotten injured and ended his season early the last 2 years. So, I mean, they were meaningless seasons, but just play it safe, play it one more year, and if he can stay on the field healthy, provide those numbers he put up in 2016, then you give him a nice big contract. No need to risk it now. Just get him for the year and see what happens.
Now, say for some reason they don't franchise tag him. Where do you think he can land?
You look at teams like the Seahawks because they're not getting Earl Thomas back. Maybe the Cowboys if they don't get Earl Thomas, but that's unlikely. I think the Seahawks would be a prime destination.
I would think Seahawks stay in the NFC.
Yeah.
Good defensive-minded team he'd go to. I would say the Steelers.
I was thinking that too. I mean, they have their secondary needs help, so
it does need help.
Mm-hmm.
Any bit of help
does.
they can get.
Yeah, that's the dead thing's the biggest problem is their defense.
Yeah.
So another defensive player, maybe getting franchised, but the Texans are not going to push to sign a deal with Jadeveon Clowney.
Ooh.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on this?
Ooh, I'm not sure how I feel about that because Clowney has been getting better and better ever since he got in the league, and I don't know. I feel like they should really keep him, but like how Kyle was saying earlier, it's kind of just a business thing in the NFL. So I'm surprised about this, but at the same time, I'm not. So,
I mean, you can find a defensive end. Diamond does in this day and age. So
yeah, that is true.
Go younger in the draft.
It's probably one of the deepest positions, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the NFL, those are the types you could just kind of pick up.
It's about having that drive at that kind of position, just having that motor, because you always see guys that really just come out of nowhere, and you're like, who is this guy? But if they have the drive, they have the motor to do it. They can become a very good defensive end. So, well, yeah, there definitely is a lot of depth at that position.
Because he was plagued with injuries, like right when he came into the league.
Yeah, that's really what the problem was.
He had a lot of issues with injuries, but now he's starting to find. And what really helped him is J.J. Watt.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had a lot of expertise from J.J. Watt. That really helped him get into the league. So, Dom, where do you think Jadeveon Clowney could go? Say if he doesn't stay with the Texans.
That's kind of hard because what team is really lacking on the line these days?
The Lions.
And how much money is someone willing to fork up for Jadeveon Clowney? Because he's not going to take a discount.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean
that one's tough. I mean the Lions. The Lions' defense is solid.
If they get
it got better.
Ansah, which doesn't look likely.
Yeah, it's not likely that they're going to get Ansah back because he's also been kind of plagued with injuries as well, and the Lions really only use him as a pass rusher this season as the defense got better. So Ansah's probably going to walk. And Clowney, like how Dom said, he's not going to take a discount, especially to come on a losing team like the Lions. So the Lions need him, but I don't expect the Lions to really go after him.
I'd expect a franchise tag on Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah,
I really expect that they probably won't get the long-term contract, but I would be shocked if they don't franchise tag him.
Kyle, what are your thoughts on Clowney?
I mean, if he doesn't get tagged, I could see him going to like one of those top teams with a ton of cap, either the Browns or the Niners.
I
could stay in division, go with the Colts.
Have Garrett and Clowney as your edges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty nice. I like that. I think the Browns are going to win that division next year.
I've been telling my girlfriend's family, they're Giants Steelers fans, telling them Browns are going to win that division next year.
I think it'd be Ravens and Browns here for the next few years.
Oh yeah.
It could. They both
I
teams
don't think I don't think Lamar Jackson gets it done for that team.
I mean, I think they're going to run him to the ground like RG3.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's gonna have. Yeah, he had a good season, but they rode on their defense. That's the thing. So say the defense gives up more than 20 points consistently.
Are they keeping RG3 as the backup? Is he going to be the backup going next year?
Yeah.
I would.
They might really. I don't know. I wouldn't keep both.
Who else will run that offense if Lamar gets hurt?
No, I'm gonna say. I think they get rid of RG3, but here's the thing: because you can't have two of the same style quarterbacks.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm,
Because if you have one quarterback who's consistently going to run for over 100 yards every game, you got to have a backup that can pass. the ball.
Yeah.
That's why I like the duo of Jackson and Flacco. You know what I mean? Because if you have
And
two
I
running quarterbacks as your 1 and 2, you're going to be in deep shit if you have to go far down the field in like 40 seconds. What are you going to have? Lamar Jackson running every play to the out of bounds? Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
yep.
So, speaking of more defensive ends, the Jaguars are exercising defensive end Calais Campbell's $12 million option for 2019. Defense is stacked. Offensively, garbage. They do need a lot of help on the offensive end, but that defense, it's still top 5 in the NFL. But that defense this year saw so much field time just because that offense could not move the ball.
Is there still rumors of them trying to move away from Ramsey?
Yeah, there's been talk of that. There's been a lot of ties with him and the Chargers, which I wouldn't mind. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. But what we'd have to give up,
Yeah.
who knows? I just want the Chargers to get rid of Jahlil Adai. They call him the Hitman. So, I mean, but if Ramsey had to go to another team, I don't know, it'd be kind of tough.
I really don't see him anywhere else.
Yeah. I see him. I don't know. That's kind of tough.
He basically trashed the whole league's quarterback, all of the league's quarterbacks. I mean,
he does
his own
big ego, and that could cause locker room problems. So
I mean, go to the Steelers; they got enough locker room problems. I mean, throw a little more.
Yeah, I know, but he did get in those fights with some players after a couple games this year. There were some fights between Calais Campbell. He got in a fight with the other defensive end's name. I can't even pronounce it. Good thing Mason's not here. So, there were a lot of fights in the Jaguars locker room, especially on the defensive side, because they were just so frustrated with the offense that they were just getting at each other's necks. So, I mean, but Calais Campbell, he earned it. I mean, he's one of the best defensive ends in the league. He led in sacks like 2 years ago. So he's still, top. Oh, the Cowboys are re-signing their long snapper. There's some big news.
Oh,
Wow, breaking. Now we're going to go into some baseball. Bruce Bochy is retiring after the 2019 season. Everyone knows him as a Giants manager. Kyle, what do you think about this one with him retiring? You think it's the right time? You think it's –
I mean, they've kind of been on a rebuilding stage the last couple of seasons. So
I think that's kind of what made his decision really now.
I mean, I think they're not going to go to the playoffs this year, so might as well just – build the team up as much as you can and just pass it along to the next guy, I guess.
Yeah, because there's only so much you could do with the team.
I mean, the NL West is it's the Dodgers and then, I don't know, maybe the Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks, 1 year they're the worst team in baseball, the next they're irrelevant.
They're so up and down.
Telling everyone they're trying to trade Greinke. Robbie Ray has gotten some talk. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire over there.
I don't know. Like, they looked really promising like 2 years ago. They looked like they were on that upswing.
Yeah, when they got Goldschmidt and they got Greinke and they had the talent.
They look scary.
They signed like a bunch of relievers.
Yeah,
stuff.
On paper they look really good.
And then they had Morgan, Robbie Ray. They were looking good, and then
they just fell off.
Yeah,
they were on the upswing, and then they were on the downswing as soon as it started to look promising.
Yeah, back to the Bruce Bochy. I was talking with Antonio. He's also on our team, and I was saying he already won 3 World Series. He's paid his dues to that team. I feel like he's been there forever, and they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon, so there's no point in him staying.
Well, do you think he takes an office role?
He might, but honestly, does he need to? I think it's time for him to settle
he has
down.
The experience. If they are in a rebuild, maybe to say to him, "Hey, do you want to come do some player development, or do you want to be our GM? Who knows? Maybe you want to be like head of the bullpen, something like that." They can give him something.
Yeah, something to keep him in the organization.
So the Reds, they signed utility man Derek Dietrich. Reds, they're kind of weird. They were like in on a lot of people, but they might be in contention for a wild card this year. As I said on the podcast last week, I think for them it's wild card or bust. They're not going to – I think the Brewers are winning that division, I think. But I don't know. Cardinals don't have enough to contend for the division. Cubs don't really have enough. I don't think that the Cubs have enough. But the Reds, could they possibly get a wild card, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I like going off where you were saying, it's really a wild card or bust with them, and they're really they're in that little gray area, and that's honestly the worst place to be because it's really up in the air on what could happen with their whole season in general.
If I had to compare them to an American League team, it'd be the Rays.
Yeah.
They're kind of that team that like they're there, but they're like not there.
Yeah, they're just short.
Yeah, and they're in like a hard division because like you have the Cardinals who added like a bunch of players, getting Goldschmidt obviously just even if they just got him, that's fine. And they got Andrew Miller to help their bullpen. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Cardinals are going to be good. Cubs are going to be good. Pirates are a sneaky good team. They've added some good players. They got Keon Kella. They got him, Chris Archer, Corey Dickerson. That team's going to be pretty good. I'm going to say they got Josh Bell. That team is going to be good this year. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be – I think they're going to be like the Athletics in a couple years. They have some good youth on their team.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, more in baseball. Red Sox said they are unlikely to sign Craig Kimbrell.
Yikes.
Kyle, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, now their bullpen is more of a dumpster fire than it was before going into the season.
I don't think they're winning 100 games this year.
Not even close.
That bullpen is awful. And what they did last year is they rode on starting pitching and the outfielders. They had 4 great outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
And they just really outscored everybody in the down the stretch. So that's probably
and then their infield is really not that good. Steve Pearce and Rafael Devers at the corners, and then what do you have? Dustin Pedroia, 85 years old.
Did you hear they expect him to play 120 games this season?
If he plays 120 games, I'm going to be the starting pitcher for the Yankees this year.
Oh, and Ellsbury's playing on 162. Did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah. If Dustin Pedroia is playing 120 games, Ellsbury's going to play 120 games. Easy as that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Craig Kimbrell goes back to the Braves.
That's what I was thinking. That's the whole time.
Yeah,
we all said we've been saying that on the podcast for how many weeks have we been saying that, Dom?
Damn near the beginning.
Yeah,
the first one.
Yeah, we've been saying that every week. Craig Kimbrell to the Braves, but I mean, what other team could he really go to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe the Astros. Who else is looking for bullpen help? I mean, literally. The relievers, they went on a huge stretch, or run, I guess you could say, the past couple of weeks of getting signed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and a lot of the closing pitchers went,
Yeah.
So, I mean, what other team could we really see him go to that has a big hole? Because the only thing he's filling is a huge hole. He's literally top 5 reliever, probably of all time. Because if you go look at his stats, as I always say on the podcast, stats are the player and the player is the stats. Mm-hmm. So if you look at his stats, he's a top 5 reliever of all time. So, I mean, he's not going to fill a small hole for a team. He's going to be the mainstay of that bullpen for years to come because, he's not signing a 1-year deal. If he does, he's dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He'll look like a clown if he signs like a 1 year, $20 million, whatever it is. He's going to get paid a lot. Because I heard he wanted a 5-year, $120 million deal with it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
God.
That's why
Just pitch 1 inning.
He wants that type of money just to say, shut the hell up to someone.
Yeah.
Just look at him, shut the hell up. He wants that type of money. Or he could walk into a room, someone will be talking, shut the hell up. He'll be like, all right, this dude's got money.
This dude's got money.
This dude's got money. So we're going to move on from baseball. We're going to go into actually, we have more NASCAR stuff. Mike Tirico will call the Indy 500, making him the first black play-by-play announcer to call a major auto racing event. What do you think about this, Dom?
I think this is great. I personally love Mike Tirico. I think he kind of, got kicked to the curb from ESPN when he was doing the Monday night games. I think he's been the best. He was the best at the Monday night football games. And now you got him calling the Indy 500. That's huge since NBC has taken over the Indy 500. It was ABC for the longest time. So it'd be pretty cool to see him doing an auto race. I haven't seen him call any of that. So I think it'll be fun to see how he does. I know Kevin likes him too.
Oh, yeah. I've always liked Mike Tirico. He's been one of my favorite, and I think he's really underappreciated by really the whole community because, like you said, he really did kind of get kicked to the curb from ESPN from doing those Monday night games. And I think this is huge for him and his career. And I think it's huge for NBC as well. As like you said, they're taking over the Indy 500. And I haven't seen him call a racing event. So this is going to be really interesting. He brings a lot of energy and kind of spice to the broadcast. So I'm really excited. I'm actually going to be very intrigued to see how he does.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be different. Kyle, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think it's good for the sport. I mean, especially Indy racing. I mean, I think he'll do well with anything he announces. So,
yeah. So I know, Kevin, you have some news out of Michigan State with their head coach.
Yes, Mark Dantonio. He signed a extension through the 2025 season. I think this is good for the boys in green, as they've kind of struggled the past last couple of years or so. But I think having Dantonio locked down is definitely going to help them a lot. I do see him, probably retiring after his extension is over. But I think in the long run, this is good because he brings in recruits just because his name is Mark Dantonio, and he does a very good job of really taking those kind of 3-star athletes and building them up into 5-star athletes. So I think this is really good for the program as a whole.
Well, they better do something quick because, the fact that they almost lost to Rutgers on their home field, they got to do something.
Yeah, they need to find a QB. Lewerke, he was hurt for about half the season. He got hurt during the Penn State game. Actually, they won that game, but he got hurt, and he hurt his throwing shoulder. And, instead of, having him sit out, they had him play through it. And I don't think that was the right option because that just kind of tore it up even more. And he was not himself. And so finally they, said, no, you can't play. But at that point, it was too late. Season was already over. They were out of the Big Ten championship contention, whatever, definitely out of the top 4 contention. And their backup, Rocky Lombardi, he wasn't really ready for that big stage. He showed signs of, he showed signs that he could take the reins against Purdue. But after that, he kind of just fell off. And also the play calling was not good as well. Like against Rutgers, that was at Michigan State. It was raining. It was cold. I'm pretty sure he threw about 50 passes. I'm pretty sure. There's no reason for him to throw 50 passes. Yeah,
it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his stats were like 20 for like 50. They weren't good. And his confidence was down too. Like you could see, he missed a lot of just wide open guys across the middle of the field, and the whole season was just a kind of a wreck. Right after that win against Penn State, it always went downhill from there.
It's a shame because, coming into the season, I predicted Michigan State to be in that Final Four.
Yeah, a lot of people did. They were predicted to be the dark horse going in. They as a team, they're really predicted to be that team that kind of sneaks up. They're at that 5 and 6 spot and kind of sneaks in. And also their halfback LJ Scott, who he was predicted to be a dark horse Heisman vote, and he was also hurt for like half the season as well. He had some off the field issues, with I think he's had like a DUI or some stupid stuff like that. So just the whole season just was not good. Really, really disappointed with how they played. Hopefully this next season they kind of bounce back because they're going to get a healthy Lewerke. LJ Scott, he's going off to the draft, but I think that's probably for the better for the future of the program.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Open Table Sports Daily Recap. Anything you want to leave them with, guys?
I'm glad to be here. My first time doing this. I'm pretty sure I'm the newest member on the team, so I'm just happy to be a part of this whole group.
Yeah, we'll be adding you guys more, Kyle and Kevin, the 2Ks, but you'll be see every week, every night, me and Dom We're the
Mhm.
two workhorses of Open Table Sports up here, making it work. The day-to-day operations at Open Table Sports headquarters. All right, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.